Hey everybody, it's Bishop Barron. I'm here to tell you about this book. Gosh, I'm really happy and proud of this book. It's the Word on Fire Vatican II Collection. First of all, like all the Word on Fire products, it's beautiful. It's got this ribbon, beautiful pages and print, and the layout of it. It's a joy to hold it and to read it. But more importantly, the contents. I become convinced over my years in the priesthood and now as a bishop that an awful lot of Catholics have not really come to terms with the Second Vatican Council. Either you go with a sort of amorphous spirit of the council and say and advocate things the council never advocated for, or you say, no, the council was a big mistake, let's go back before it. And I think vanishingly few people have actually read these texts. So this first volume has what are called the four constitutions. Those are the four really major principal texts of Vatican II. We're talking about Dei Verbum, first of all. That's the one on the Word of God. So the biblical revival the council called for. Secondly, Lumen Gentium. Lumen Gentium is about the church, in some ways the central idea of Vatican II. Thirdly, Sacrosanctum Concilium, which is on the sacred liturgy, the liturgical reform called for by Vatican II. And finally, Gaudium et Spes, which is the document on the church's role in the modern world. You might say these four great summonses of Vatican II to the church: biblical renewal, a renewal of our sense of the church, a renewal of our sense of the laity in collaboration with the clergy, etc. The renewal of the world through the ministry of the church. I mean, all of that is contained in these four constitutions. So here's what we've done with this book. Maybe some remember this. In my generation, if we read the conciliar documents, we almost all read them from it was a thick but sort of small paperback edition. It was actually kind of hard to read. We designed this to be easy to read. So the text itself is laid out very beautifully. But then you'll see here throughout we have commentary. And the commentary is largely from the postconciliar popes. Well, the conciliar pope too, St. Pope Paul VI. Paul VI, John Paul II, Benedict, and Francis. So kind of sprinkled throughout these texts are these papal commentaries. There's one by John Paul II from his Redemptor Hominis. Here's one from Pope Francis on the defense of the unborn. We put that in Gaudium et Spes. It's talking about a section there. Let me see if I can find one from, there's Pope Benedict. So here's one on Sacrosanctum Concilium, a sublime expression of God's glory, Benedict on the liturgy. And then peppered throughout it as well are short commentaries from me. So reflections that I've had on these conciliar documents or some of the major themes. So the idea is you can read them in, I think, a pretty user-friendly way, in a beautiful way, but it's supplemented all the time by what I think is the best commentary you can find, the Pope's own commentaries. The papal magisterium kind of guiding us as we read these foundational texts. Can I recommend it, for individual readers, of course, but I would hope too that parishes could sponsor the reading of these documents with these papal commentaries to help us again come to terms with this decisively important event. In my judgment, I've been saying this for years, in my judgment, still largely unimplemented. In many ways, that what the council is calling for, we've not realized. Part of the problem is I don't think we've read the council carefully. So here's an opportunity to do just that. Beginning with these four major constitutions. Just a little hint, down the pike, we hope to have another volume with the remaining Vatican II documents. But starting here with the four constitutions, I think would be very useful in your own spiritual life, in your life in the church, individually and in parish settings. So get it, Word on Fire Vatican II Collection. And God bless you.